I had the privilege of being in court today for the morning session, and one of the more fascinating things that I saw was something I did not expect at all. I was actually sitting right behind one of the incredible sketch artists today, actually both of the sketch artists, actually 3 artists were in the room, transfixed watching their work, capturing this historic trial in pastel. Christine Cornell has spent years inside New York courthouses and joins us now. I was watching you work today, and it's fascinating because, I mean, you start sort of with a face, or just a sketch, and then over minutes, you bring this sketch to life. You're also wearing these, like, binoculars, like a special forces.
No, I'm
like
not. That's Jane who wears them on her head.
But you had some sort of binocular contraption.
I have binoculars.
Yes.
I use them. Yeah.
So what do you use those for?
To get up close and get the detail, because sometimes we're just really catching a little snippet window of to see, Mr. Trump, especially through all those bodies moving.
Right, because there's a lot of the court officers are in the way. You can't get a full view of him all the time.
So you want to get as much information as you can in, like, negative time.
What is it like drawing? I mean, every day you are studying this person's face.
I'm getting to where I can draw them from my imagination.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
How do you choose which moment?
I know when it's wrong.
How do you choose which moment from the hearing to draw?
I wish I could tell you that I had lots of choices. It's just, it's slim pickings.
Mm-hmm.
You see through this window, sometimes he just turns and he's talking to his attorney and you go, ooh, gotta get it, Sometimes you just have to stare at him because it's gonna be so fast that you have to memorize it and then draw it.
Are you paying attention to the actual trial itself?
I'm hearing it all.
Yeah, of course.
And I'm listening to it. But what I'm not doing is what the reporters are doing, which is putting it together and figuring out what the weight of this particular piece of evidence is.
You hear all the clicking of the reporters. Does that annoy you?
Not in the slightest. No.
Anderson, if I could just say, this woman is a legend. I mean, I don't say that lightly. I mean, she's been around. I mean, she looks very young, but she's been in the courthouse for decades. And she has a lot of power because for a lot of lawyers, like, you only get one big case, right? And this is the thing that she's going to draw. There's no cameras in the courtroom typically, and she's going to give you that moment that's going to live in your law office or your mom's living room forever. And I'm getting a kick, Anderson, actually, out of your enthusiasm.
I was amazed.
I love
this
it.
is the most enthusiastic you've been about the whole courtroom thing. And I've seen her so many times bring things to life. And as I've mentioned, I have more sketches of hers in my house because my dad, which she sketched dozens of times, and myself, and she is gifted.
But it was fascinating because you sit there, and what was your colleague's name sitting next to you?
Jane.
Jane. I was closer to her. She had all the pastels laid out. And I was looking at she had all the colors out. There wasn't like sort of how do you paint Donald Trump? Because there's not, some people would think there'd be a lot of orange, but there wasn't orange.
He's human colors, He's not an unusual looking man, except for there is a bright yellow that I use when I hit his hair. That is just so much fun. It's really...
His hair seems lighter these days.
It's fading.
It's fading.
Yeah,
I was going to say, it's interesting because we are, in most of the country, there are cameras, there are videos, there are photographers. We get one snapshot, but there is such an art that makes it so compelling. We were waiting to see your drawings and your sketches, but I wonder if you can comment on the fact that this is not happening in every courtroom across the country. It's really an art that is going away more often than not. Tell me about why it's so important to have it in New York and have it like moments like this.
Well, it protects the defendant. It's a little bit of a shield, the presumption of innocence. It's very hard to have a camera staring you down all the time. Having an artist come and draw you is actually kind of wonderful. I think we add a little bit of lightness to the whole thing, and we also bring a lot of humanity to it.
I also love that you are first in line. And it's rare artists get a lot of respect in society today. You are first in line. You have the best seat in the court. I mean, yes, there's people blocking you, but as far as the gallery goes,
it's necessary, and we are the eyes. They do need our work.
Yeah.
I noticed that we were just showing it. I don't know if it's yours, but there was a sketch that had Trump, but then there were the words from the Access Hollywood tape kind of in the background framing his face. I thought that was just such an interesting choice.
Right, so you can put those elements together
and
get a little drama.
Making those choices about if you're going to include words, which ones you choose and how you think through that.
Right, right. And don't fill up the space with the wrong words, and then all of a sudden.
I mean, those are very, very important words, right?
But I was watching you.
Right.
You drew this, and then all of a sudden you added in that the bright yellow on the eyebrows and on the hair.
This is my friend Jane's.
Oh, that's Jane's. Okay.
That is Jane's.
Yeah. Yeah.
But so those lines, those yellows, they were drawn at the end of it.
At the very
At the
end.
very
Right,
end.
right.
I saw her draw them on.
You kind of start with a little bit of just a linear blocking it in, and then you build up from the shadow, and you add lights, and then the highlights are the thing that you add last.
And then, just so you know, because we do this, so then when I call her after the appearance, and I'm like, Christine, I really want that. Seriously, then sometimes I know you've done this. You're like, Arthur, just send me a picture of yourself where you like the way you look, and then she'll fix it a little bit, and then she'll add a lot more detail if I'm actually paying for her to frame it and hang it up in my office.
I didn't do that.
Yeah, okay, all right, okay. I haven't been to your 14th
Not
Street to
I.
your studio and been up there and.
If you came to my studio, then I will always work further on you.
Yeah,
But
I
you've
did come to
sketched.
your
I mean,
studio
you've sketched
many times.
You've sketched Son of Sam, David Berkowitz, John Gotti. You've sketched. I mean, has there been John Edwards? Has there been a trial that really stuck out in your mind, or has there been a moment in a trial where what is being discussed really grabs your attention or makes you emotional?
Absolutely. You want my most poignant
Yeah,
experiences ever in court?
Yeah. Because, I mean, you're a human. You're listening to all of this and the compounded weight of that.
Okay, I'll tell you one story.
Okay.
This was from Cosby a few years ago. And there was this young woman who was describing, being 17 years old. She didn't drink. He gave her some white wine. You don't drink, have some white wine. Next thing you know, she's in and out of consciousness. And she's having these sort of little flash memories, which are graphic, right? Head to toe, toe to toe, And she's crying at this point. And she said, "You remember, don't you, Mr. Cosby?" And that was just such a jaw-dropping moment in the courtroom where the witness directly addressed the defendant in such a, incredible way.
Christine Cornell, such a
Yeah.
joy and an honor to
Yeah,
have you.
see, you ask me questions, you get it.
I love it. I want you to draw me someday, but I don't want to do something to make you draw me. I'm too boring.